This is the plaintiff, Michael Gildersleeve. He says he bought 3 plane tickets from the defendant to the Republic of Georgia. And just as he was about to leave, Russia invaded and war broke out. He called the airline who told him he could get a 100% refund, but the defendant, the agent, refuses to give it to him. He has no other choice than suing him here and now for the return of his $1,175. This is the defendant, John Sharma. He says the guy booked flights from New Jersey to Munich, Germany, and then on to Tbilisi. He used the tickets to fly to Germany and stayed there for 2 weeks. When he got back, he wanted a refund on the unused portion of the tickets, but things don't work like that. If he wants a refund, he needs to get it from the airline, not him. He's accused of taking off on a flyer.
Okay, Michael Gildersleeve?
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing Pan Express Travel Incorporated, represented here by the owner, John Sharma?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, for $1,175 for reimbursement for airfare that was not used. Okay, tell me what's going on.
In the beginning in July 2008, we bought 3 tickets from the defendant to go to the Republic of Georgia.
To go to the Republic of Georgia?
Correct.
And when were you going to be going to the Republic of Georgia?
I was going to leave September 1st, I believe, which is the first Monday in September.
Okay.
Exactly a month later.
A month after buying the tickets?
After buying the tickets, after
Who
paying for them.
were you going
with? My girlfriend and her mother, her 70-year-old mother. So.
And you were going, what a nice boyfriend. Is she still your girlfriend?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so go on. And why were you picking the Republic of Georgia?
I like to go to places where not a lot of Americans go, because then you get the culture shock. In effect, because if I go where a lot of Americans, then it takes away the effect of,
You'd like to go
traveling.
off the beaten path where there's not a lot of American tourists.
Correct, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly about a month.
Now that's pretty much anywhere with the devaluation of our dollar, but go ahead.
About a month later, Russian tanks invade the country. They start bombarding the country.
A month after you purchased it in
Correct.
August of 08.
Correct.
Okay.
I have some paperwork for that if you want to see that.
No, I sort of remember it, but
okay.
go ahead.
So we have a problem. So I go to the airline in person. I said, gentlemen, I got a problem. I bought tickets from you a month ago. War has broken out. What can we do about this?
Right.
They said, well, they were
Because you're trying to
polite.
be a good boyfriend. You're not trying to kill your girlfriend and her mother.
Exactly.
And you don't want to go to a war zone.
Correct.
So you
Not
tell
anybody
them,
would
we
do
got a
that.
problem. And what
Correct.
did they say?
They said, sir, they were polite. They were fairly polite. I mean, they said, unfortunately, sir, it's an unrefundable ticket. As long as the airport is open, we cannot refund your money. I said, the airport is open for people to get out, not
Right.
to get in.
Okay.
Okay?
Perhaps you are not. Did you bring him like a puppet show to explain the tanks are coming in?
No.
Okay.
I would think common sense would get through
All right,
them.
Mr. Sharma, what was the status of travel at that time?
See, the airport was open, and normally,
What's the policy? You don't get your money back unless?
unless there is a trip advisory from the State
From
Department.
the State Department. And so was there a travel advisory issued by the U.S. against Americans going for non-essential travel?
No.
Okay. Now, according to you, there in fact was.
Yes.
Okay.
I have printouts from the Embassy of the United States in Tbilisi, Georgia,
Okay.
to issuing American citizens to depart, their family members to depart from the country.
And does it also say they're telling American citizens not to go?
No, it doesn't specifically say that.
Let me
no.
see what it says. The department recommends that American citizens defer non-essential travel to Georgia and that American citizens remaining in Georgia review their security situation. That looks like what we're looking for, right? But what ends up happening here? What happens is you had purchased 3 airline tickets.
Correct.
To go from Newark to Munich and then Munich to Tbilisi.
Correct.
All right. What do they end up telling you? You're not getting your money back?
You're not getting money back because the airport is open.
And then what happens?
I go back home. I called the airline that they're dealing with, Lufthansa. I explained my problem. They said, sir, according to our goodwill policy, you are entitled to your 100% refund. And I called back the airline. I said, look.
You called back the travel agency.
I'm sorry, the travel agency. I said, listen, they told me that I'm entitled to my 100% refund. Can I get that back? He says, no. I said, the person you spoke to didn't look at the right code. They didn't realize it was a non-refundable policy. That's why they
Okay,
told
now
you
that's
that.
the idea behind goodwill. All right,
Yeah.
so then what happens with that little discussion?
It doesn't go too far because then I call back the airline. I said, listen, can you contact the travel agency about your goodwill policy? He says, no, we can't do that. So finally, we sit down. I sit down with. Actually, I call a little later on.
You have a discussion later on with them,
Correct.
and they say they're going to refund your money. Correct? Who tells you they're going to refund your money?
The manager at the time, in the office at that time, I spoke to him on the telephone.
Do you remember what that manager's name is?
No.
Do you remember what manager said that to him?
No, nobody said that to him.
Oh, so according to you, you never said you'd refund his money? No. You said I started this case asking you under what circumstances do you refund the money. I guess you didn't think he'd have this. And then you said to me, if the airport is closed or there's an advisory against travel. And that's exactly what you say in your answer to the complaint. Now he has the advisory against travel, and then you're saying what?
Well, we told him at that time, I said, listen, you know, that you have, if the airline says that they are willing to refund this money, all they have to do is just send us an email or some kind of travel access.
Yeah, but I've been in this position before. I've been in the position where I'm talking to the hospital, and the hospital is saying the hospital is saying insurance hasn't paid. Then I call insurance, and insurance say the hospital didn't send the bill. Then I say, can you talk to each other? And they say no. They can call me. I mean, it's very frustrating. So if the airlines is telling him, yes, you're going to get your money back, why doesn't somebody give him his money back? According to you, you get told you get your money back, but then it doesn't end there.
No.
You take the trip.
Correct.
It's kind of an interesting case. So if war breaks out, can you cancel your plane flight and get a refund? Are you entitled to a refund?
Yes, definitely.
Why?
Because there's war there. You can't go there. The airlines are canceling the flights.
Well, some of the flights, not all of the flights. I mean, can you cancel in the event of war? I mean, the travel agent really doesn't say.
I think definitely you have to be safe. They have to provide a safe way.
Is that
for you.
implied in the deal you make with a travel agent, that you have to be safe?
Oh yeah, I have to be safe, and I wouldn't be happy about going traveling with war during wartime.
The question is, whose tough luck is it going inside the courtroom?
When I called them, I said, look, at the end, I spoke to the manager. He said, okay, we'll start the process, but it's going to, we'll start, but you have to come and fill out paperwork to start the process of maybe getting your money back. I said, how long would that take? I said, 6 to 8 weeks. I said, 6 to 8 weeks. I said, when I gave you my credit card, you took 6 to 8 minutes to take the money off my credit card.
Right.
Another 6 to 8 weeks, that's unacceptable. So I hung up, sat down with my family members, with the people traveling, and said, what do we do? So we decided we're going to go to the Munich leg, use that part, go to Germany, enjoy yourself for 2 weeks, because I wasn't going to let these guys spoil my vacation.
I understand. So then what do you used a portion of your ticket.
Correct.
How is Lufthansa going to return? They don't then turn around and dissect and try to figure out, because you didn't buy the ticket separately. You bought
Correct.
with a stop in Munich, and then
Correct.
you ended up using the trip to Munich.
Correct. But I didn't go to Georgia, because
So how do you figure the 1,175? How did you calculate that?
Well, I calculate from here to Georgia, Munich is about 2/3 of the way. Okay. Plus, if I would have bought a ticket at that time from New York to Munich, it would have been about $800.
Well,
I
prove
could
that.
calculate.
Can you prove that it would be $800?
I could not.
Can you prove what? Did you know he was going to say this? Do you have any evidence, or do you know what a ticket to Munich at that time would cost?
Your Honor, the fares, when the airline files the fares, they file the fare based on the income of the country you normally travel to. If, let's say, if I'm going from New York to India, the fare would be cheaper, even though the flying time takes longer, the distance is longer, if you just go from here to Munich. Because what happened is, because the people originating from India cannot pay that kind of money.
Right.
So the fares are always higher.
They're cheaper to Tbilisi than they are just to Munich.
Just to Munich.
So you're saying he's not out anything anyway.
And not only that, Your Honor, because you see, this is what in our language they called is incorrect uses of the ticket. What he did is, he undercut the higher intermediate point, means the airline would have got more money for that segment. And
what happens if I don't take the second leg of my segment? What happens? Because he didn't take the second leg. Did you cancel it?
No, he's not.
So how did he get back? Because when I do that, if I were to do that, they would just cancel the rest of my trip, and I wouldn't be able to get home.
He should feel himself lucky.
All right. Do you have the paperwork between you two?
I have it.
May I see it?
Yeah, sure.
Have you read the receipt that you get from Panic? They haven't even said this, but it happens, it's not like I can ignore it. It's right here. Yeah. Have you read the receipt that Pan Express gives you? On the bottom it says, Pan Express Travel acts as agents for the various transportation companies. All tickets for transportation and other travel arrangements are subject to the terms of those companies, for which Pan Express Travel shall not be or become liable or responsible in any way. This should have been your defense. That makes it very difficult for you to sue them. You taking the trip makes it difficult for you to sue them. You need to sue Lufthansa, and I don't suggest you do it because you're going to waste a filing fee. Because having taken the trip, they're not going to dissect it and give you money back. It's not going to happen. Okay? You know what I advise you to do, which is free? Place a phone call to Lufthansa and tell them all about this and see if, as a goodwill measure, they would like to give you some money back. And that may be your best bet to recoup any of your money back. So that's that. Okay? My verdict in this case is for the defendant. Good luck.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you.
Let's see what the plaintiff has to say coming out on the losing end of this case. First of all, what do you think of this verdict? You get it?
No, there's not much nonsense. How is the price from a further place is less expensive?
Well, it doesn't go by miles traveled. It goes by desirability of the destination.
Okay, I don't quite get that. Yeah.
Well, you're not in the airfare business, but how'd you like your trip to Germany?
I had a great time. Like I said, I wasn't going to let these guys spoil my total vacation, so I made the best of it.
All right, and your girlfriend and her mom, everybody enjoyed that?
Absolutely.
Now, next time you go on vacation, you're going to pick an exotic destination, or you're going to go to, like, Brooklyn?
Not Brooklyn. I can go there by train.
Okay, right down that way. Okay, come on in here and tell me what you think of this outcome.
It's good. We're happy.
You happy? It's nice of the judge to find your defense for you, wasn't it?
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You feel for what this guy had to go through? I mean, a war is a war.
Well, he took a trip to Munich. You know, he enjoyed his trip. He, as a matter of fact, he got a good, you know, he undercut the higher fare, you know, like.
All right, okay. Harvey, what do you think?
You know, I got to tell you, calling the airline and asking for a refund is always a good idea. Even if you're not entitled to it, they may do it for goodwill.